So the first conversation that we're going to talk about is Back to the Future.
Yep.
Right. So, shittest film on the planet. What do you think? What is it?
Yeah.
Absolute dog shit, right?
I don't know how it's endured. It's just garbage.
Marty, we're sending you back to the future.
How did you hear about Back to the Future? Tell me your first impressions of Back to the Future. What you think of it?
I loved it. I'd never heard of it before. Just got it like on VHS.
And for anybody who doesn't know anything about Back to the Future, just literally stumbled across this, how would you explain Back to the Future?
Time travel teen comedy.
I don't know
80s.
if I'd call it. It's got comedic element, but it's got a huge heart, hasn't it? It's an emotional, dramatic story. If I had to show someone an example of a perfect film, I'd say Back to the Future. It's flawless, I think.
What is it about
great.
What is it about the film that makes it so flawless?
Everything, the performances, the script, the way it sets things up and then pays them off, casting, the music, it's magical. I've got to watch it 50 times.
It's ridiculous how many times I've seen that film. It's like a comfort film, innit?
Yes,
You can just always just watch it whenever you haven't seen it for a while, and it still just brings back all those memories. And
Yeah.
it's great.
And it still pays off.
Yeah.
The Johnny Be Good, every time I hear Johnny Be Good or Earth Angel, I'm immediately thinking of Back to the Future and the bit where he's strumming on the guitar and the band members are all thinking, oh, what's the matter with him? And then they kiss and then...
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's magic.
Yep.
What's your earliest memory of Back to the Future, Brilliant?
I remember as a kid watching sections of it, and it's mainly for me. It was mainly the DeLorean, the car. Because obviously, as a kid, and you nerd out, don't you? Like you geek out on a little bit of futuristic technology and the idea that you could.
At the time, as a kid, that car was wow. Like it's actually an awful car, isn't it? Like as a sports car, it's like really poorly made.
It was supposed to be super unreliable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my main thing. It was like I was always like kind of fascinated in like futuristic stuff. It's that idea of being able to
travel in a car, wherever you wanted. And the question would be, where would you go? Where would you go? Yeah. If you actually went back somewhere, the chain of events that would create.
Yes.
Someone just seeing it.
Yeah. You literally changed the world.
Change the world, just going somewhere.
Yeah, just the slightest. It's the butterfly effect, isn't it? It's like,
but isn't that the skewed timeline thing that they have? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was that thing where they said that you create an alternate timeline to the
paradox.
The paradox timeline.
Yeah.
So technically, would you affect the present moment, your present moment, or would that be completely discarded? So say for example, this is our timeline.
Yeah.
And then we went back and shit happened, and like as Doc Brown explained it, you have a paradox or that separate line. Then how would that work? Then would we forfeit that timeline?
I think that timeline still exists, but then you're talking about quantum physics, aren't you? Where it's like every action creates a parallel universe, and even if that's the case, you can't get back to the other old one, can you?
Because you might not exist in that universe.
Well, that's the thing. So when we're looking at Back to the Future, then when he went back to the future, did he go back to his own timeline?
I guess not, because everything had changed.
He does. He goes back to the timeline that he left, but
it's a slightly different one, isn't it?
It's different because I don't know if you know the story about Eric Stoltz, who played Marty McFly originally, and they reshot the whole film because he viewed it as a tragedy.
Yeah.
Because he basically goes home, and all of his memories are only his memories, because it would have been a totally different childhood for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's basically sacrificed himself to preserve...
Yes, to make his family's life better.
his family's life better, but he talks about memory about... if when you have a kid, he spilled something on the rug, don't go easy on him. That probably never even happened.
No, it wouldn't have happened.
No.
One other thing. If you guys ever have kids, and one of them, when he's 8 years old, accidentally sets fire to the living room rug, go easy on him.
because it's completely different. Their whole lives were completely different. Where George was successful and more assertive, and it obviously caused their whole lives to be different. I'm surprised they even lived in the same place. Him being a successful writer, because they was in a dive area, weren't they? Sort of weren't in a very he was a loser, wasn't he? Basically, so it's like I'm surprised they weren't living in a bigger house in a better area. All time travel films are dubious because of that. It's difficult to, but obviously for the sake of a story, you suspend your disbelief.
Yes,
don't you? So I can understand Eric Stoltz's thing, but obviously that's not what the film.
That's not the film they wanted to make. No, exactly, they weren't making like a Donnie Darko or something like that. They was making a Frank Capra sort of story like It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, and it's like no one thinks of Biff. He sort of became the George McFly then, didn't he? He was like a loser.
Yeah, he becomes a tragic character, but. You sort of kind of pity him, but he was horrible, so he gets what he deserves.
Yeah, and you don't find out. I guess it's never talked about him having a wife ever, is it? So
no, because he's always like teasing Marty and like say hi to your mum for me. Yeah. Which, if you think about it, probably wouldn't get made now because there's sexual assault.
Oh,
what he does to Lorraine.
Well, looky what we have here.
But that probably only happened because Marty went back. He doesn't get Lorraine in that car, and that opportunity arises only because of Marty.
No, stay right here with me. Come on, Lorraine. Come on. Leave her alone, you bastard. You got to take him in back, all right? I'll be right there.
I mean, the whole incest thing, it wouldn't get made because of that, probably, in the first place. So it's like Netflix famously cut parts out of it, didn't they, when they showed it, and then there was outrage by all the viewers and they put it back in there.
Well, I've seen it on TV and they cut the lines that they deem are politically incorrect. Like, it's set in 1955, so when the is he called 3D?
Yes.
They tell him, beat it, spook.
Yeah.
This ain't nothing to do with you, and then all the guys pour out of the car and they shit their pants.
That's for messing up my hair.
The hell are you doing in my car?
Hey, beat it, spook. This don't concern you.
Who you calling spook, Peckerwood?
That bit is always cut. He just says beat it, and it cuts to them getting out of the car. When you do that, you rip the heart out of something, and I don't think
I want
that's
to
a
see
good
the
film.
film as it was
intended.
Yeah, intended.
And that's the 1950s, and that was their attitudes, and they were arseholes.
Yeah, exactly.
It establishes
they
who
were
they
the bad
were.
guys, weren't they? It just tells you something about them. That's how they thought. So
can't sanitize the past, can you?
Exactly.
You know?
What would you say is your favourite scene or scenes in Back to the Future? Are there like moments that stand out that you think?
Johnny B. Good and Earth Angel in that moment. Yeah, the Earth Angel moment where George kisses her and then Marty stands up. Yeah, I think that's the magic moment.
The music soars.
Yeah.
I think the manure scene is like quite epic, isn't it? Well, the first time I saw it, then they had the running joke, didn't they?
Yeah,
like throughout the films.
Oh yeah, spitting it out of his mouth. Oh
yeah. I always like the bits of Marty and Doc is just dynamite.
Yeah.
The chemistry between them is great, and it's just their interactions are always brilliant. So it's really enjoyable. Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd was incredible, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he always is, though. Yeah. I've not seen him in anything where he's been bad. So
no.
I think you always talk about his delivery, don't you? The delivery of his lines.
Yeah.
And how he.
Yeah. There's always
the way you never really think how weird it is that a young kid's friends with an old man.
An old guy.
Exists. Like you never even think about it, do you?
Yeah.
I just realised. Sorry to interrupt. It's just the opening sequence. That opening one take, where she's going across all the clocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then things are kind of like setting off into motion for
Felix the cat.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then the arm that does the food for Einstein. Goes in with a skateboard, key under the mat. Yeah. It's brilliant.
And the plug into the speaker system, and you see all the dials being cranked up.
Come on.
The whole film is amazing, but I think the climax with where Marty arrives at this town square and Doc says you're running late and they pull the cover off.
Yeah.
It's just breathtakingly done.
Yeah, him hanging off the clock
Everything,
tower.
yeah. And then he finally gets the cable, pulls it, and then
the other comes out the other.
It comes out the other way, and then it has to hook over the thing and down the clock tower. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's just like one problem after another.
Yeah.
It's oh god, I forgot what they're called in screenwriting. They use time as a plot driver, don't they?
Yes.
So it's like there's a ticking time
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, everything's kind of like going to shit, and you don't really know if he's gonna make it or not.
Yeah.
Because he's just tearing down the road, isn't he? And he's just looking and just,
Yeah. He can see Doc still up there trying to fucking do it, and he's like, oh.
But if they mistimed it, if it didn't happen, I'm guessing he would have gone straight into
dead.
Yeah,
he's through the windscreen.
Yeah. He would have crashed into the cinema, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
At that speed, there's no way the stopping distance.
No, he's dead. Yeah, the whole trilogy's great, isn't it, really?
Yes, I love all of the films, yeah.
The only thing I'd change is in the second one. I wouldn't have had him playing his daughter.
Yes.
I would have had her playing the daughter, because it doesn't make sense to have
No.
him. And it's just a bit tacky.
A bit of an in-joke, and it don't quite, you think...
doesn't land.
Who would you have had playing the daughter?
Leah Thompson playing herself as a younger daughter. She could play the mum. Because it makes sense if he's going to play him as his son and himself.
Yeah.
Why can't she play the daughter
that makes
herself?
sense, Something happened, didn't it, with the original George McFly?
Crispin Glover didn't want to do the sequel, did he? So they made him.
Yeah.
They had another guy, and they had him in the upside down traction thing to disguise it a little bit.
Yeah. And then he's like in just distance shots, isn't he? From the original film, they sort of CG'd him.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you reckon he regrets that?
No, I've seen podcasts with him talking about it and how fucking really upset he was.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. I think I don't know if there was a lot. I don't know. Again, don't quote me on this, but I don't know if there was a lawsuit or something, because he was livid because obviously he's not Christian Glover.
Yeah,
it's the performance.
And they use his likeness,
and it's
kind of they're trying to say
No, exactly. They tried to use his likeness, but the performance in his, to paraphrase his own words, was just awful. Like, he just hated it.
He's refused to be part of it. But that's up to him.
Yeah.
Or there's creative differences.
Refused it, he can't then be annoyed that they've got someone else to play.
No, to replace him.
Go on with it,
it's like someone like Sean Connery going, "I'm not happy with you replacing me with Roger Moore."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the show goes on as they.
But yeah, it's more of a case of like, I don't want to use the word ego, but just in terms of, because it's his likeness, isn't it? It's not like Roger Moore for Sean Connery. They're two different people, for example.
But
it's more like, this is...
They made George McFly, they designed his character as that.
They created that character. He's just someone playing the role, isn't he? So
some might say that the actor kind of like personifies a certain character, don't they? And they kind of take ownership of it. They might have created the character of George McFly, but in terms of him bringing his own touch to it, or his own uniqueness to it as an actor. Maybe that's where he got a bit upset, because he was like, well, that's not how he's
but it's not like they
I guess
just fucked him off, and they offered it to him and he turned it down. If he says no, what does he expect? They're not going to say, oh, we're not going to do it without you.
We're not going to do Back to the Future 2 without you. You're bigger than, you're going to stop the production.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't the main star of it in the first place, was he? So
no, the first one, he was integral. Obviously he was huge, but to the others, to moan about really. Just being in his character being in, like, probably, I think he's in about 3 scenes, isn't he? In Back to the Future 2, he's in very little.
Kitchen scenes, I think.
But then maybe that's because they didn't have him. Maybe
I heard that there was a rewrite because they couldn't use Crispin Glover, so his role was reduced. But I don't know.
What's next?
What did you want to talk? Big Trouble. Let's get into Big Trouble.
Big Trouble in Little China.